I know that a few of you have been having a couple of issues with configuring the static routes for exercise 6.2.2.4. That's our packet tracer. And what I'm going to do is just go through and configure this. And in that configuration, hopefully, you'll have an understanding of what's going on in this particular assignment and how and why it's important that you understand this information. We're going to be working one with obviously the packet tracer in topology and with the IP addresses that are provided to us within the packet tracer assignment. I'm just going to move these IPs out to the side, and primarily I'm going to be working in the topology. All of you should have the packet tracer text in front of you while we're going through this. It will make it easier for you to follow along with what I'm doing. First, what I want to do is click on PC1. I'm going to click on the desktop tab and then the command prompt. And what I'm going to want to do is ping first my gateway on R1, then the serial interface on R1, and confirm that we do have connectivity to R1. Alright, so I'm going to type ping, and it's 172.31.1. Let's see, the gigabit Ethernet is .1, and yes, indeed, we can reach our gateway. In addition to that, I want to check the serial interface, which is 172.31.1.194. We can reach that. The router, R1, has a directly connected network. That network is 172.31.1.192/30. And the interface on the other side address is 172.31.1.193. And I'm going to try to ping that address. Just hit the up arrow, backspace 3, press enter, and this ping will fail. What's really happening is the ping is making it from the PC to R1, and the ping is crossing this serial link to the interface on the other side on this directly connected network to R1. What I want to do now is click R2, go into R2 CLI, and go into enable mode, and I'm going to type show IP route. In show IP route, notice that we have some directly connected networks, but we do not have a network that's going to allow us to reach, or a static network listed here that's going to allow us to reach 172.31.1.0. The router 2 received the ping, but router 2 has no clue on how to respond to the ping, right? Doing an echo reply, going back to PC1, because router 2 has no clue as to which interface it needs to send out its traffic in order to reach 172.31.1.0 network. Well, we can take care of that by entering a route. We have to go into our global config, and in global config we simply type IP route space, and the network that we are trying to reach is 172.31.1.0. It has a /26 subnet mask, so it's 255.255.255.128. And the interface that R2, the next hop interface, is this serial interface on R1, and its IP address is 172.31.1.194. Let me confirm that. I believe that's what it is. 194. I'm going to press enter and minimize R2 and bring up PC1. Bring her back into the picture here. Hit the up arrow. We have the same IP address that we're trying to reach, and by God, we can get there. And the reason we can get there and have a response, an echo reply, is because we did indeed, just as before, reach R2, but R2 now has a return path, right? It knows about this network because it has a static route to reach the network 172.31.1.0. I'm going to minimize PC1. Now PC1, let's assume PC1 wants to reach PC3. If PC1 wants to reach PC3, and I'll try to ping PC3 here. Let's see, what is the address on PC3? 172.31.1.190, and press enter. Destination host unreachable. Destination host unreachable. Now, where do we have to do our configuration in order for us to reach that particular network? We need on R1 let me get into our global config. On R1, we need a route that's going to allow us to reach the 172.31.1.128 network. So I'm going to type IP route 172.31.1.128. It has a /26 subnet mask, so that is 255.255.255.192. And the interface that router 1 is going to use in order to reach that network is going to be this serial interface. The next hop will be this serial interface on R2, which is 172.31.1.R2 serial interface is 193. And I'm going to press enter. So now we have a route from R1, if destined for PC3, the network that PC3 is attached to, it's going to send that traffic up here to R2. So let me bring back PC1 and try my ping. And I'm going to 190. My destination is still unreachable. Now the reason my destination is unreachable is because when PC1 sends its echo request, it's making it to R1. R1 says, okay, you're destined for this network that PC3 is attached to, the 172.31.1.128 network. I have a route. I have a static route to reach that network, and that static route says my next hop address is the serial interface on R2. The issue that we're having now is on R2. R2 does not have a route. Let's look at R2's routing table. Do show IP route. If we look at R2's routing table, R2 has a route to the 172.31. Let me bring this into the picture. It has a route to the 172.31 1.0 network, which is this network that PC1 is attached to, but there is no route to the 172.31.1.128 network, which is where we're trying to go. So we now need to enter a route, a static route, that's going to allow us to reach this particular network, the 172.31.128. So again, IP route. And I'm going to 172.31.1.128. My subnet mask is 255.255.255.192. And my next hop is going to be this serial interface on R3, which is 172.31.1. Let me find it over here. 198, I believe. Let's see if that's it. 198. We enter that. Let's go back, bring up PC1. PC1. Hit the up arrow. hit the up arrow, hit the up arrow, and we don't have anything going on. But we just did our routes all the way through, right? We did our route all the way over to the network that PC3 is attached to, but we're not seeing any response here. Now let's look at why we're not receiving a response. If we look at R3's routing table, let me make sure that it is indeed 198 on this side. Come on. And it is 198. Good. So if we look at R3's routing table, we'll go in here and get into enable mode and then do a show IP route. You can see that we do not have an entry in our routing table that allows us to reach the 172.31.1.0 network. This is our source IP network that we're using to reach PC3. We have a path all of the way to the 172.31.1.128 network, but we do not have a return path. So on PC3, we have to again go into global config, and we're going to do an IP route to 172.31.1.0 space 255.255.255.128. And our next hop IP address for that route is going to be the serial interface on R2, which is that S001 interface. Let's see, S001 is 172.31.1. Let's see, S01, 197. Press enter. I'm going to minimize this and go back to PC1. Hit my up arrow. Once I click in there, hit the up arrow, and by God, we can ping all the way from PC1 to PC3 now because R3 knows how to get back to the network that PC1 is attached to. I'm going to close this at this point, and I'll continue it in the next video, continue the presentation in the next video so that you have shorter videos so you're not listening to something that's 30, 40 minutes long.